Happy 2022. Yay. Woo, 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 yeah. My first video of 2022. And I decided, so I'm going to do a vinyl tag, vinyl thread, whatever you want to call it. This is my first one because I did not start doing my videos until April of last year, which seemed kind of late to start that. There's two going around. There's one that Rob Walker, Let the Music Play did, and then Stunt Rock Confusion Stunty. I don't even know if Stunty would watch my video, but or either one of them. But anyways, I went with Rob's just because it was easier, and Stunty's made my mind blow, and I'm like, I don't know how to like half of these. Like, I struggled with the one from Rob, which seemed pretty simple, but for me, I'm like, I don't have a lot of what you're asking, and I didn't really, there's a lot of 2021 questions in Stunty's, and I just didn't, I bought stuff, but not that would fall in line with those questions, so I just kind of, all right, so this is 22 questions, so I'm gonna get going and do this as quickly as possible. And I'm looking like haggard shit, and that's okay, because I'm sure you've seen me look like shit before, and you'll see me look like shit again. I'm wearing a lovely sweatshirt that belonged to my bestie's mom, because it's comfy, and it's pink, and it's got, you know, little bears on it, and this mom is loved by Jimmy and Kim. I mean, hello, it's awesome. So whatever, I digress. So we're getting right into it. The first question: favorite album purchased of 2021. I had to go with two. I just finally got this, but I've been listening to it since it came out digitally. Juliana Hatfield's most recent, oh my gosh, Blood, is so fantastic. She did the artwork, which I'm not crazy about, but it's kind of like a murder album, or murder ballads, I guess you could say. It is so great. It is her best effort that she has done in a long time, in my opinion, and I can't really think of a bad track off of this record. And then finally, after waiting since 2007, I was just so excited when this finally was announced that they were doing this. Robert Plant and Alison Krauss finally did their second album, Raise the Roof, which is absolutely fantastic. Number two, the first person you saw live. So the first concert I ever went to, and I want to say it was 1991. I went with one of my very best friends in the whole wide world, Shane. We've known each other since high school. He's just a beacon of light in my life, and then with Tiffany Bob, my ex-sister-in-law, best friend, known her since, you know, grade school, and it was Book of Love. This is the single for Alice Every Day. I only have their first two records. Their third one, which was the concert I went to, Candy Carol. I had to think for a second what the album was called, but Candy Carol came out the year that we saw them. It's been pressed on vinyl, but only in European pressings, and I know Shane has it, and he got a crappy copy. It's just hard to find, and you're going to pay a shit ton in shipping, so eventually I'll add it to the collection. Their fourth and final record, Love Bubble, has never been released on vinyl. And then, you know, the artwork is pretty fun on this. So Alice Every Day brings sunshine to my house, or whatever she does. Number three, an album by a duo. So I chose She and Him. This is their first album, Volume 1, and She and Him is Zooey Deschanel and M. Ward, and they are fantastic. I have all of their albums on vinyl except their last Christmas album. They did two, and they're just fantastic. They do some great covers and originals. I love the cover they do of the Beatles, I Should Have Known Better. Just such, yeah, they blend so well together. I just love them. An album, an album in The Shrink. So That's kind of tricky because, and I know people like it or don't like it. If I buy a new album, I keep it in the shrink. So I chose a sealed one because I have a lot that are still in the shrink. I like to keep the hype sticker on there if I can, if there is one. It's just the way I like things to be. I know a lot of people, they just rip it right off. That bugs me. I don't like it, but you may not like that I keep the shrink on. So we'll just agree to disagree on that. This is Dolly Parton's Just the Way I Am. This is a compilation album. This is from 1972. So there's a lot of tracks that are, I just love her dress with the music notes and everything on it. It's fantastic. I have an open copy of it that is in really, the cover is in really poor shape, but the vinyl itself is beautiful. So I just chose to keep this one in the shrink and sealed. So I have a few other sealed copies. But a concept album, I struggled, and then I was like, oh, well, this one, and I feel like all of their albums are concepts, especially the first three, but I went with Arcade Fire's third album, The Suburbs, and Suburb Life, basically, and it is fantastic and one of the greatest songs. The Sprawl Part 2 is off of this record, and it's wonderful. Number 6, an album you've not played yet. So I got some like really cheap albums through a seller on Discogs, and I thought, oh, this sounds interesting. I just haven't played it yet. So it's Loretta Lynn, and this is from the 70s. I don't know, I can't read it, but it is Loretta Lynn, I Remember Patsy, and it's Loretta doing Patsy Cline songs. So I just haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. It's still in the little crate of albums to listen to, and I will listen to it eventually, but it's one that I knew for sure that I had not listened to yet. Number 7, an artist you discovered in 2021, my good friend Lisa Tedesco, that we've done a couple videos together on her channel. She's fantastic. I absolutely adore her, but she introduced me to Waxahachie, and this is her album St. Cloud. This came out in 2020, I believe, maybe 2019, and it's just fantastic. And so this is one of the artists that I really got to know over the last year. Okay, a live album. Number 8 is a live album, and this is one of my favorite live albums of all time. Millie Jackson, live and uncensored. So we've got the gatefold here. She's bluesy, poppy. I love Millie Jackson. She's vulgar. She's just out of her mind, and just adore her. This is from 1979, and it's got the amazing Fuck You Symphony on there. And it's okay to say it because she spells fuck P-H-U-C-K, P-H-U-C-K, Fuck You Symphony. And it's fantastic. She does a cover of Kenny Rogers' Sweet Music Man on here, which is absolutely fantastic. Also, I think Here You Come Again might be on this. No, that's later. If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right. It's such a fantastic live album, and I play this and I feel like I'm there. She talks to you. Again, she's vulgar. I absolutely adore Millie Jackson. Number 9, an album from a different continent. Anytime I can mention First Aid Kit from Stockholm, Sweden. Sisters duo. And this could have been a duo too, but anytime I can mention First Aid Kit, I will. This is their 4th record, Stay Gold, and absolutely fantastic. So, from Sweden, First Aid Kit. I know I have a lot that still have price stickers on them. I couldn't find really anything. I found this one. So number 10, album with price sticker on the jacket. It's a handwritten one, but $4.50 there. I don't believe that's what I paid for. I think I paid $1. This is Lenny Lovich's No Man's Land. It could also fall in the category of I haven't listened to it yet. I've listened to this album before. I just haven't listened to my vinyl. And yeah, I love me some Lenny, and or Lainey, or whatever I'm gonna call her. She's fantastic, and yeah, $4.50. Punk or new wave? So 11 is a punk or new wave artist, and I'm like, well, punk. I don't want to be generic and show Sex Pistols because, like, is that the only punk I have? And I felt like I had more punk in my collection, but maybe I just don't really think of what is punk and what's not. And the new wave, I'm like, to me, that's everything I listened to in the 80s. So I kind of feel like they're a new wave punk. Maybe I'm completely wrong on their genre, but I went with the Pixies, and this is their best of Wave of Mutilation. So it's got all the great Pixie songs on it. And oddly enough, I do not own any of their full-length albums. I know, problem. I gotta work on that, but at least I have something. I have them all digitally, but I just don't, for some reason I haven't. I definitely want to get Doolittle and a couple others, but yeah, Pixies. So hopefully they're their punk new wave category. Number 12, I don't own a lot. Number 12 is a box set. I have 3, and they're all older. This is a Time Life Music one, and it is the Rosemary Clooney box set from, I think it has a year right here, so I'm not going to tell you. But, I mean, it's got Come On to My House, which is one of my favorite songs ever. I'm going to give you candy, an apple and plum, and an apricot too. Woo! Come on to my house to come on. I love Rosemary. Mambo Italiano's on here. Tenderly. Mangoes. You Took Advantage of Me. Mean to Me. I mean, I love Rosemary. Number 13, an album with a sporting theme. Of course, Huey Lewis and the News Sports came to mind. I actually don't own that anymore because I found that I never listened to it, so I gave it to somebody who would appreciate it. Not that I hated it, but that was the only one that came to my mind. But then I was like, oh, this one, and I'm pretty sure this is a sports reference. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but it's the House Martins and London O Hole 4. And I believe that is a score from a football game, British football, or whatever you would call it, soccer, which is football. So, yeah, because that makes more sense because you hit it with your foot and it's ball. American football makes no sense, but I'm not going to get on my little thing. But first effort from the amazing, beautiful, talented Paul Heaton, and who then went on to Beautiful South and solo, and then his duet. See, there's another duo I could have done, Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott. But, well, we're trying to do not the same. Now this one, number 14, a jazz album. I don't listen to jazz. I'm probably going to get so much hate for that. I find it repetitious. I find it boring. And I'm not dissing on anybody who loves jazz. If you love jazz, more power to you. I'm so proud of you, because I can't. And I think a lot of it is I struggle with music without words. I need lyrics. I need you to tell me a story. And I know that instrumentals can tell you a story and give you a feeling, and there are some that do that to me. But jazz, I think, maybe it's the horns, I don't know. So I looked through Discogs, I typed in jazz. The only thing remotely close to jazz that it said that I had, and I consider her full on blues, but I'll show it, and it also is another box set, and it is Billie Holiday, also another Time Life collection. I think the 3 I have are Time Life, the other one's an Elvis. The Giants of Jazz, it says. So I was like, well, it says jazz on it. I don't feel like, maybe jazz blues. I don't know. I just don't really feel like Billie Holiday is jazz. She's full on blues to me. So, and that's the thing, when it comes to blues and things like that, I need vocals. So, please don't hate me. But, again, I appreciate every style of music. I just may not like it all. Let's see. We are at number 15. We're almost done. Number 15 is a best of album. And I just, another thing, if I can mention the Statler Brothers, because then I can mention the love I have for my mom and how much I miss her. And Statler Brothers was her absolute favorite. So I have a lot of them in my collection, but this is their best of Statler Brothers. This is Flower on the Wall, Bed of Roses, Class of 57, Susan When She Tried. I mean, it's just, I just, and that's the wives on the cover, the Statler Brothers wives, and there they are with them on the back. And this is from, 1975. I was about to say, who the fuck cares when it came out? Number 16, an album with at least 8 people on a jacket. Well, this has way more than 8, and I love this cover. So I chose George Michael's Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1. Volume 2 never came out, unfortunately, but this is his 1990 album. Fantastic, but look at all those people. There's way more than 8 on there. So I just thought when that question came up, this is the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, the George Michael cover, because it's fantastic. We're at the beach, we're having a good time. Let's get our picture taken. Number 17, I'm about ready to do my soundtrack video, so this will be shown again, but number 17 is Show a Soundtrack. I went with the original motion picture soundtrack for the film God Help the Girl. I love this movie. I love this soundtrack. So Stuart Murdoch of Belle and Sebastian, this was his little concept, his little brainchild. It started out with a concept album called God Help the Girl that was done with different artists. I believe it was a play, and then it became a movie. A lot of people haven't seen it, but it's fantastic. Why can't I remember her name? I love her so much. So bad. I love her so much I can't remember her fucking name. But, it doesn't say right out here, so we're not gonna look it up, but yeah. I love this movie. I love this soundtrack. The title track, God Help the Girl. Oh, it's so fantastic. Number 18 shows some VCLT. So those of you that aren't like in the vinyl community, VCLT is the Vinyl Love Train, Vinyl Community Love Train. Nobody's ever sent me any, so I have no VCLT. Maybe I'm just not cool enough to get any. I haven't. Well, I did send one out, but and I think some has been sent. I believe so. I believe she told me she sent something, Miss Lisa. So my girl, I think she did send something, but I just haven't received it. So at the time of this video, I have not received any VCLT, so I cannot show you any. And number 19, an album with no writing on the jacket. So no name of the album, no artist. And I looked, and finally this one popped up and I was like, great. There's writing on the back, the track listing, but on the cover, Sade's Greatest Hits. Look, it's just a beautiful picture of her. And look how lovely we look together. Me and Sade, best of friends, yes. And I love her so very much. A 7-inch single, and I was like, oh my gosh, I went through them and I was like, you know what, this is great. This one is great. So Eurythmics, 1984, Sex Crime. And I love this song so much. I love that soundtrack. The song is from 1984, and of course I absolutely adore Annie Lennox. So Sex Crime, 1984. Number 21, colored vinyl. So I went, just because I think this looks so cool, so I went with the Sisters of Mercy's, the BB Sessions. This came out last year. It was a Record Day exclusive. And then I'm just going to take this out of the inner here, just to kind of, and I don't know but I just love that swirl in there, that smokiness of it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. There's so many different variations and different colored vinyl that I have, but this one just kind of stuck in my brain of just how absolutely beautiful it is. I don't think the camera really does any justice for it, but so, and number 2022. I almost showed something different because I read the question wrong, because I just wanted it to be 1992, because that would be 30 years, and that would be the year I graduated from high school, and I could show a certain album, but Then I looked it again, and it's from 1982. So an album that's going to be 40 this year. And I went with Roxy Music's Avalon. I adore this album. This is the only thing by Roxy Music that I own on vinyl. But so great. More Than This. Just, it's on the Warner Brothers label there. So yeah, from 1982, we've got Roxy Music's Avalon. And, oh, we'll almost be at 22 minutes for its video of 22. So, hope everyone is having a wonderful year so far. Happy New Year. And as always, thank you for watching and thanking you.